You know it's hot outside, so why do you want to heat up your kitchen? Let me show you some of our favorite summer crockpot meals. I've got you 4 this week. Hey friends, my name's Susan and welcome to our home. Today I've got you 4 quick and easy and amazing summer crockpot meals. Your family's gonna love, and you're gonna love them because you're not heating up your kitchen, because it is way too hot to do that. So let me get this ponytail up and let's get to making some amazing summer crockpot meals. You're gonna love them, and so is your family. So come on, let's get to cooking. And it's early morning, but we're gonna get something quick, simple, and easy in the crock pot this morning. I'm gonna make some chicken and noodles, but in the crock pot. So first thing we've got to have is some chicken breast. I've got a couple chicken breasts in there I'm gonna put in the crock pot. I've got some bone broth. I've got my chicken spice. I've got 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. I'm gonna put 1 in. I may need the second. I'm not sure, but I've got it in case I do. And of course, we're gonna put some noodles in once I get home. So let's go ahead and get the chicken and the spice and the bone broth in the crock pot. These are frozen chicken breasts, so they will produce some juice on their own whenever they go to melt down, basically. So I'm not going to add any juice in the bottom. I am going to put in the can of cream of chicken soup and just put that over top. There's a couple different recipes out there for this. One of them adds onion, which would be good, but in this I'm going to make it like I do my chicken and dumplings. I'm not going to add any onion because my bone broth actually had onion bits and pieces in it. Now I'm just going to smooth that over the chicken breast, and I'm going to pour on the bone broth. That's a pretty good bit of bone broth, but that has a lot of onion flavor in it already. I am going to add in some of my chicken spice that I make, and I'll leave a link to the recipe down below because it's what I love putting in anything with chicken. Because it pretty much had a lot of the spices they have that they would put in this anyway. Now this is going to go on low while I'm at work, and then when we come home, we'll see what we have. And when I came home from work, this is what I came home to. Lots of beautiful juices, some wonderful chicken that of course I'm going to shred with my meat masher like I always do. Y'all have seen me do it 10 zillion times before. Danny does not like humongous pieces of chicken in his chicken and dumplings, and I'm sure he doesn't want them in his chicken and noodles either. So I'm just going to wheel around here, make sure that I've got everything kind of separated out real good, so there's not a whole lot of big, huge pieces. And then I'm going to add in some noodles, some egg noodles. It calls for 8 ounces. I'm only going to put 4 ounces in because I know these will increase in size, and I think that's not bad. I also have, of course, the other can of cream of chicken soup if I need it, and I am going to go ahead and put in a little bit more of my chicken spice in here. So now this is ready to go on high for 30 minutes, and we'll come back and we'll see how it looks and if I need to add another can of cream of chicken soup. And after 30 minutes, this is what it looks like. It's looking really good. It is a little bit more soupier than I would have liked. So I think I am going to go ahead and add in the second can of cream of chicken soup into this mixture, just to make it more creamier. Because I normally, whenever I'm making chicken and dumplings, usually put a second one in too. That's just the way we like it. Now this will make it firm up and get nice and creamy. It won't take but a minute for all of that to dissolve, and then it'll be time to eat. So let me give this about a minute or so, and then we'll serve it up, and it'll be supper time. And here you go. Chicken and noodles in the crock pot. The easy version of chicken and dumplings. Right here it is. It tastes so good. You gotta make it. And I'm about to make one of our favorite summer crockpot meals, pork carnitas tacos. This is basically carnitas meat that's already seasoned, and all you have to do is just put it in the crock pot and cook it. Now this is completely frozen, And this is the way I'll put it in the crock pot. It's really simple. I just cut around the outer edges of the carnitas and then just pop it out. Like I said, it's completely frozen. But that's how it goes down. This will be in the crock pot for about 8 hours or so while I'm at work on low. And when you come back, all this water in this will have melted down. And it will make the most amazing seasoning for some pork carnitas tacos. You can't get any easier than that. One item, one thing, and it cooks while you're at work. To me, that's a win-win. So let's put the lid on this and let's go to work. And we'll see what we get whenever we get back. And when I came home from work, mind you, this is not what I found, but this is what I found after I used my meat mallet and just sat here and ground it up. It smells amazing. The whole house smells so good. There's a little bit of juice in the bottom, not tons, but that's what it's supposed to do. And so this is ready to be put in some tacos. And it's time for pork carnitas tacos. And this is my plate. Danny is outside working on his truck. So I'm making me some food before I make Danny, believe it or not. But that's okay. He's got plenty that he can eat when he comes back in here. I'll go ahead and get me some. As you can tell, there's only 2. There's not 3. Because, you know, Danny likes his food. And I don't eat as much as he does. So, there we go. Alright. I'm going to put a little bit of taco sauce on top. It does have quite a bit of seasoning on it. You might want to taste the meat before you put the taco sauce or anything else on it. Because it is not spicy, but it's just flavorful. I mean, I love it. It's just really good. I am going to add a little bit of red on there and a little bit of green, just because we always do. I hope you're enjoying today's video, and if you are, go ahead and press that button down below and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that bell and the all notification, because I know you don't want to miss any of the good food and fun. And a little bit of cheese. And of course, this is Mexican blend cheese. And that is my plate for the night. And you can't get much easier than that. These tacos are so good and so easy. If you've never bought that carnitas meat, you have got to go get it. You've got to try them. Tonight we're going to do a quick low country boil in the crock pot. I usually do this version on top of the oven. But I'm going to try this on the crock pot, in the crock pot on high for about 1 to 2 hours. That way it'll be done by the time we get through running around outside and dealing with the garden. The one thing that's going to take the longest is going to be the potatoes. But let me go ahead and go through the lineup of things I'm putting in it. I've got some corn on the cob I'm going to be putting in. I've got a mixture of Slap Your Mama and Zatarain's Creole I'm going to be putting in. You could use crab bowl if you want. I like this mixture better. I've got some of these little bitty potatoes. I'm probably going to be cutting them up, at least in half, and putting them in the crock pot so they'll cook a little faster. I've got a Polish kielbasa right here. I've got some butter, some shrimp, a little onion. I don't have any lemons today, but I do have some lemon juice I'm going to squirt in, because it does need a little bit of that lemon flavor. And it's time to put some stuff in the crock pot and get this party started. Cut up some of the potatoes, and they're going to be the first things going in. I want to kind of coat the bottom with the potatoes, and that looks pretty good because it's just Danny and I. I'm going to go ahead and add on some of the spices. I have 1 teaspoon of Slap Your Mama and 1 tablespoon of Zatarain's in here. I'm going to go ahead and put these on the bottom, and then I'm also going to go ahead and add a little water on top. And I think I'm going to wind up adding in about 8 cups of water. I've got 4, and this will make 8. I may need to add some more of the seasoning too, but we'll go ahead and get this started up as is, and maybe whenever I add in the next ingredients, well, excuse me, I need to go ahead and add in the onion to it also. I didn't have any halves of onions to put in, but I've just got this sliced up onion. I'm just going to go ahead and throw these in, and I'll put a squirt of lemon juice in here. Not much, just needs a squirt, because the onion you put in, you don't actually cut it up or anything, it just is in there for flavor. The last thing I'm going to put in is the half stick of butter, because I'm doing half the recipe. You normally would put a full stick of butter in. There you go. Now that's ready to get hot and get cooking. I'm going to check back in 30 minutes to see how it's doing. We may need to go as much as an hour, but other than that, this is ready to go, and I'm ready to go out to the garden and see what I can find. So let's put the top on, and I'll bring you back. And this has been on high for about an hour and 15 minutes. Woo! And the steam is fogging up the lens. The potatoes are finally soft enough. I'm going to go ahead and add in the Polska kielbasa, which I have cut up into nice little chunks. And I also added in another round of seasoning. Probably about two or three more teaspoons of Slap Your Mama, and another tablespoon of Creole seasoning, the Zatarain, so that is in there now. And I'm also going to add in the corn in right now. Probably give it about 15 minutes or so. And then, I did defrost the corn. And then I'll add in the shrimp. The shrimp don't take as long. So, and then the Polska kielbasa basically just needs to warm up. It's already pre-cooked. So all of the corn is gone in. Time to put the lid on. And I'll bring you back in just a little bit. And I've left the corn and the Polska kielbasa in here for about 45 minutes. Now it's time to put the shrimp in. They are still frozen. I'm going to run some hot water over the shrimp. And actually, instead of hot water, I ran warm water over it. I have raw shrimp that is deveined but not peeled, easy peel, so it's got the tail on it. I'm going to pour that in, and then this is probably going to take between 15 to 30 minutes. I mean, you can already see they're starting to turn red, so it ain't going to take long, and these little shrimp are going to be done. You don't want to overcook your shrimp, but it's not going to take long for them to get completely cooked. I'm going to set a timer for maybe 10 minutes, and we should be ready to roll. It's been an additional 10 minutes, and I love to see the shrimp nice and pink. They don't have to be in a complete O like some people say, but you know, to me O is overcooked. I like them to be pink, and that's plenty. That's good. They're pink. They're not hot pink, they're pink. You know, that's all that matters. Because it is cooked, it is nice and hot. That's all it needs. It just needs a little bit of cooking, because you know what? Shrimp is good. It's good. So let's get this into a plate. And this is what it looks like. Straight out of the crock pot. It is nicely cooked. The potatoes are nice and tender. The shrimp is cooked. And it is time to eat some Low Country boil. You can add some additional spices if you need to. But as much as I added, it's going to taste really good, just as it is. A quick Low Country boil, and I didn't have to heat up my kitchen. I love this recipe. It's another hot day today, and we are making another crock pot meal. Something I've not made in the pan before, but not in the crock pot, and I'm just going to change the recipe a little bit so it will be done in the crock pot, every bit of it. And this is what's going in the first bunch. I am going to add some penne pasta in at the end, but this is what you need to start it off. I've got a little bit of butter. I've got an onion. It calls for a whole onion chopped up. I'm only going to do about half. Some salt and pepper. I've got a little garlic powder. Some frozen chicken breast, because y'all know that's how I do it. Boursin, and some bone broth. And we're going to make Boursin chicken in the crock pot with pasta. Like I said, that'll be added a little later. So let's get everything in the crock pot and get started on this let's get everything in the crock pot and let's get started on some Boursin chicken. The recipe calls for 2 large chicken breasts. Y'all know me. I'm just going to put as many as will fit in the bottom of the crock pot, which I think I've got a couple small pieces I'll just put in here, and that'll work just as well. I've got the bottom of the crock pot completely immersed. I'm going to go ahead and add in some of the ingredients. The first thing I'm going to add in is bone broth. This was frozen, and it's still a bit frozen, but it'll heat up while it's in the crock pot. And of course, that frozen chicken will also give off some wonderful juices. Next thing is it's calling for a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to go ahead and add the butter in. I'm going to add the onion in. This is half of an onion that I've just chopped up and I'm popping in here. It called for a whole one. I'm just going to do half. I don't think I want that much onion in it. So there's that. It does call for half a teaspoon of garlic powder, which I am just going to sprinkle a little bit on there, because you know I love me some garlic. And some salt and pepper, which is also going in. There we go. The chicken broth may have a little bit of salt in it, but not a whole lot. And the last thing I'm putting in on this is going to be the Boursin cheese. I mean, it's beautiful. It has a lot of flavor in it just by itself. Now, I'm going to put this on low and let it cook for 6 to 8 hours. If I get back, which it's a weekend, if I come in here earlier, I may turn it on high for a few hours. But this should melt down quite nicely. And I'm going to go ahead and crumble it up. As you can see, it is a crumbly cheese. And this will help it to mix in and melt in for the final product. And there we go. This is ready to go on low, 6 to 8 hours. And then we'll come back whenever I add the pasta in. And when I came in, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and shred up the chicken. As you can see, I use one of these meat mallets. It just makes it so much easier to get in and get that chicken all nicely shredded. Make sure that we've got all of it into some nice small pieces, which it looks like I've done. The next phase is going to be the penne pasta. I am going to add in about a cup to 2 cups of penne. I'm just going to eyeball it. Y'all know, God forbid, I always over eyeball when I do this. I think that's about it. Now this, oh, that should be good. I may could add a little bit more noodles. It's not quite as much as I thought it was going to be. There we go. Now this is going to go on high for about 30 minutes, and then it'll be time to eat. Simple, easy, basically 2 steps, and you got it going. So let's go ahead and put this on. I'll bring you back when we get ready to plate it up. And 30 minutes later, on high, and you have some Boursin chicken and noodles. They look amazing. Let's go ahead and get them out into a bowl, and it's time to eat. I love Boursin in anything. This was so good. If you've never had Boursin, you need to try it. This is the recipe. Did you put your ponytail up? Are you ready to go cook? I know you were. Those Crockpot meals are so good. You will enjoy them, and you'll enjoy how easy they are. If you haven't already, press that little button down below and subscribe. Press the bell and the all notification. That way you'll get notified each time I put a video up. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know where you're watching my video from. And until next time, see you then.